All right, I'm going to talk about how to calculate this type of binomial at least type probability. And I'm going to be using Excel as my calculator. So we have a fair coin and it's flipped 20 times. Okay, so it lands on heads or tails. Each coin flip is independent. So this is a binomial type random variable. Okay, so find the probability that the coin lands on heads at least 10 times. All right, so if x is the number of times that the coin lands on heads, then we could have 0, meaning out of 20 flips, there was absolutely not a single head. We could have 1 head, we could have 2 heads, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, all the way to 20 heads. Okay, so you could have gotten no heads at all, which means that you flipped the coin 20 times and you got all tails. Out of 20 flips, you could have had 1 head and 19 tails. Out of 20 flips, you could have had 2 heads and 18 tails, etc. Right? X is a random variable. You don't know what X is, but X is the total number of heads out of 20 coin flips. Okay, out of 20 coin flips. So what we're trying to do right now is find the probability that the coin lands on heads at least 10 times. Okay, so we have to think through, what does that even mean? What does at least 10 times mean? If it landed on heads 0 times, is that at least 10 times? No, 0 is not at least 10. If I asked you to give me at least $10 and you gave me no dollars, I'd be upset because I'd be like, hey, that's not at least $10. You didn't give me anything. Okay? What if I asked for $10, at least $10, and you gave me $10 exactly? Yeah, that is, right? So 10 heads is at least 10. Okay? What about 11? Is 11 at least 10? Yeah, it is, right? All the way up to 20. If I got 20 heads on every single time I flipped that coin, I got a head, then that is at least 10 heads. Okay? So 10 or more is at least 10. So 10 or more. All right? So basically what I want to know right now, I'm trying to find this probability. So I'm trying to find the probability that X is 10 or more, greater than or equal to 10. Great. Now, Excel, or actually any calculator that calculates a cumulative probability, they're going to find the cumulative probability distribution function, which is the probability that X is some number or less than that number. Okay? Remember, cumulative probability always means less than. Less than for cumulative probability. All right? How can I use what Excel's going to give me to figure out what I want to know, which is this probability that X is less than or equal to 10? Okay, well, if Excel wants to give me something that's less than, then let me use the complement. Because remember, what is the total probability? The probability that X is some number between 0 and 20, that total probability has got to be 1. So if I take 1 and then I subtract off what I don't want X to be less than 10. I don't want this. So if I take that total probability and then subtract off the probability that X is less than or equal to 9. Let me use this lighter color. The probability that X is less than or equal to 9, then I'll be left off with this probability that X is greater than or equal to 10. Okay? The probability X is greater than or equal to 10 equals that green, that total probability, minus this blue this probability in the back. All right. Okay. If you believe that, then we can move into Excel and we can try figuring this out. So let me open up Excel. So type in equals 1 minus. Okay. So that's total probability minus binom. There it is, binom.dist. The number of successes here. The number of successes. That's always going to be whatever this number is back here. Okay? So 9, right? Remember, I have 1 minus, and then number of successes is 9. 9. Number of trials is 20. The probability of success. Well, it's a fair coin, so you have half of a chance. Okay? The cumulative probability, true, right? Cumulative means I want to find the probability that x is less than or equal to 9. If it was false, then it would just be 1 minus probability x equals 9. Cumulative means less than or equal to. Okay? Press enter. 0.588 equals, so this red probability equals 0.588. Very good. And that's my answer.